All right, so that being said, Aries, I pulled out your card. You guys are dealing with right now romance, childishness, and irresponsibility. So this is your present, okay? This card, I would say, is more for like being carefree, not held down, not held back, kind of just doing what I want to do when I want to do it. You guys' present situation is to deal with planning and preparing. So I think you're learning how to be carefree, but at the same time, you got to be responsible and you need to be able to plan and prepare for stuff. This is a 12 card thing. If you guys are interested in your own general reading, it is $20. All right. I do happen to have specials. Okay. So the past, I'm going to pull out y'all's cards because I'm going to be talking and trying to pull out y'all's cards and try to read it out at the same time. And yeah, I can't. So anywho, like I was saying, you guys are interested in your own general reading, you don't want more than one card being read, right? General readings are $20. My readings are between $20 and $6. So if it's a short reading, it's $6. And if it's a long reading, it's $20. That being said, there are some specials, okay? Anything tied to me reading about a whole year, past, present, or future, all right? It's $25. I figured since it's the year 2025, $25 would be kind of cute to put it in. Another special that I have is that if you're interested in 3 card readings and 2 palms, right, for $5. 3 cards, 2 palms, it's $27. You can pick any card reading that you like. And sorry, it's there. Okay, anyways, you can pick any card reading that you want that's not your related, and I'll be happy to do it for you. Okay. I have church nearby. This is kind of really cool. I'll say it. I like it because I don't only live by like a few churches. I live by a mosque. So I get to hear a lot of beautiful prayers. And the church plays like really cool music, so. Y'all gonna be very freaking interested about all y'all's readings. Anyways, when it comes to general readings, we talk about the now. What's happening in the present time, what's going on in the moment, how are you going to deal with certain things coming your way, what to expect, how to handle what, so forth and so on. Two more to go, guys. Huh. Okay. It's a lot different than. Okay. All right. I pulled out all y'all's cards, so let's get into it. All right, Aries. Your present is represented by romance, childishness, and irresponsibility. Like I said before, this is all about being carefree, all right? Or being irresponsible. Like here's the thing, if it's with somebody else, then they're pretty carefree, they're not responsible, they're not someone you can rely on. If it is on you, Aries, you the one that's doing all this, then you're not really tied down anywhere. You're not going over there being restrained, okay? You rather be free, do your own things, than having to go around and be like, oh, okay, well, I'm obligated to do this, that, and the third. I get it, I do. Your situation, however, for the present is planning and preparing. This is caused by discord, dishonor, and hollow victories. So, let me see. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'll probably put this on there because of all that. Yeah. So, if you're dealing with I want to say it could be a past person. Discard dishonor and hollow victories. Okay, like when it comes to hollow victories, right? You're letting go. Like, okay, on my introduction, if you guys have watched it, okay, I know it's long. I'm sorry for that. Well, I'm okay. Like, I feel bad that if it's too tedious and too boring. Okay, I wanted to make it fun so y'all could be engaged. But, anyways, when we go through toxic, abusive relationships, okay, when we are trying to change and do better for ourselves, when we have to cut people off from our lives, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's a partner, whatever, it is a hollow victory. Okay, you have to do it because it's good for you. You have to let go of those toxic people, but it's something that you didn't want to do. Okay, and it can be really hard. So if you have to plan and prepare because of situations not going the way that you wanted, possibly due to irresponsibility and immaturity, so you could have dealt with some very irresponsible people, or you weren't responsible yourself and you had to kind of get out of there. You're going to have to kind of start over. Now, the future is all about creativity and charisma. Okay, it's the king of clovers. With creativity and charisma, you're tapping into your skills. Okay, you're tapping into your charm. Charisma is just a fancy word for charm. I'm very unique. People like to be around me because of my unique personality. Okay, you guys thought I was going to say pretty. No, no, at best I'm adorable. But pretty, it depends, you know? I wouldn't go that far. I don't want to have a big head, man. Looking like an airhead. Jesus. Anywho, whatever attracts people to you is your charisma, is your charm, okay? And with creativity, as you guys are going to find out very soon, I'm all about creativity. I think that if you can, like, here's the thing. Just because you have one problem, right, doesn't mean you got only one solution. I can solve one problem with 5 different solutions, and I can have one solution that can fix 5 problems. If you think that way, you can overcome a lot of obstacles that are blocking you. You know what I mean? So with creativity, you can overcome a lot. Now, sometimes you have to do the A, B, C, and the 1, 2, 3, and you have to make it work because there's no other options. Okay, we do get stuck like that. But for majority of times, creativity will help. All right. So, okay, so let's go into your mental. Your mental strength is nostalgia, childhood, and old friends. This is the past. I try really hard not to hate the Six of Hearts, but if I had a past card, this would be one of them, okay? I think I have maybe 1 or 2 others that could work for this, but this would be my main one. All right, so in your mind, you're thinking about back then. Emotionally, it's failure to communicate. So while you're thinking about the past, Aries, you're not talking about how you really feel about it. And with this coming out as being more of something, because this is also the past, as represented for discord, dishonor, hollow victory, it had to be something nasty. It had to be something that was just frustrating, exhausting, and I wouldn't go as far to say traumatizing, but it was nasty. It was toxic. All right, you're working on planning and preparing to get into better things, trying to find something that works to what you like, but at the same time, I think you're also at the same time working on letting go, working past this. So, all right. Now we're going to talk about energy that you're giving out and energy that you're receiving. When it comes to energy, I think that is really important for you guys to know that you have to understand whatever you give out, you attract, okay? So we talk quite a bit about peasants. And when I talk about peasants, I'm not talking about poor people. Poor people are not peasants. People who are not middle class are not peasants, okay? People who have lower incomes or who are super rich are not peasants. A peasant is a low vibrational person, a person that is always negative, constantly complaining, doesn't change themselves, okay? Doesn't go over that. Here's the thing. You have a problem, you are stuck, you are not happy. Instead of going over there and fixing the problem, changing yourself, growing and adapting, you choose to stay the same, play the victim, and play the poor, pitiful me. Now, I know that when it comes to victimization, I'm going to sound a little bit like a dick, all right? I'm going to be a bit of an asshole because, yes, you are a victim of the crime, okay? Yes. What happened to you was not supposed to happen. It was completely unfair and out of this world. You know what I mean? Like, shame on them for doing that to you. But you cannot stay down. You have to get back up because at the end of the day, and I know that is going to be contradictory for what I'm going to say, all right? Because I'm all about being with people that support you, but sometimes you have to be your own supporter, okay? Sometimes you have to be your own confidant. You have to be your own golden girl, your own lover, your own partner, your own friend. Because if you're not for yourself, who is going to be for you, bro? If you're not for you, who is? Who is truly? Because people can only give you what you're willing to receive. And if you're not able to give kindness and support and love to yourself, you're not going to accept it from other people. You're always going to think that they have an angle or that they're not sincere or they're going to be using and abusing you because they now know they can emotionally manipulate you or physically manipulate you into doing things that you wouldn't do for yourself had you loved yourself a little bit more. Okay, this advice goes for all of you. Now, that being said, low vibrational people, okay, people that make you feel very drained and exhausted, constantly complaining, never happy, always playing the victim, never changing their ways. And they just love to go over there and be the most negative, toxic, low vibrational person you can see. They're like bottom feeders, all right? But as people, they're also known as energy vampires, okay? They love to suck your life force. Don't let them. So if you're giving out that kind of energy, you're always going to be welcoming trouble and mayhem and discord. Because in the universe's eyes, you're not ready to level up. So clearly you need to have more tests being thrown at you. You like being at this low vibrational energy. So why should I go over there, give you something high if you can't be happy? These are people that would look at everything. Like, for example, right? I don't have tarot cards. My goodness, I don't have tarot cards. I don't have oracle decks. These cards are so old. Look at them. Look how worn out and beat these cards are, man. They're not new. I can't read with these. Or I don't have the newest laptop or tablet. My goodness, this can't work. I can't do it. I don't have the new stuff. I give up. It's not worth it. I'm never going to meet up to anything. Da, 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 da. No matter what you get, it will always be something ugly. Why should I give you new things? Why should I give you blessings if you're not going to be happy with the things that you have? When you think like that, you can understand why there's certain people struggling, man. All right. Now, some of us are just struggling because that's just the road we're on. Okay. We are learning. When you're going on to that, okay, not just being negative, but when you're going on to like the lesson in the blessing. For some of y'all that don't know, I didn't mention like where I'm from. I was born in Uganda, but I was raised in Texas, okay? So hence how I sound really Southern to some of you guys, or really country, right? Anyways, in the South, I know that like in the more southern states, like US downward, like there's more country and southern people, we always talk about lessons and blessings, all right? Life will come to you with a lesson for you to learn how to do, so that way the next time you meet that obstacle or meet that person or meet that situation, you know how to handle it like a boss. And some people come into your life, some situations open up to themselves to you, yeah, as a blessing. They're coming to help you. If you think about it like that, you can be a lot more better at being a little bit more positive. Now, being positive does not mean being happy all the time. Being happy all the time, not expressing when you're angry, not expressing when you're sad, not expressing when you're pissed off, exhausted, right? That is not positivity. That is toxic positivity. That is a thing. We're not learning how to do that. Okay, I promise you guys we're going to get to your readings, but I want you guys to understand when I say this energy and this energy, And when you guys are doing this, that, and the third, it can either combine, it can go against each other. This is where it's coming from, okay? Because a lot of people think energy comes from like charging our phones or electricity, okay? We live in a world where your energy, your vibrations, your frequency, if you will, yeah? I'm not saying that we're like radios, but whatever we put out into the world, we receive back, okay? I want you to think about the universe, the gods and goddesses, the divine fates being so huge, so monumentally big and grand that we're like ants, okay? So I'm going to say, I'm the universe, this is us, okay? You see how small this is compared to me right now. So whatever is radiating takes some time to come to. And then I get that and I'm like, okay, well, they're ready for this. They're not ready for that. This is what's coming on their way. They need to work on here, so we're going to send in a few more lessons this way, right? It works kind of like that. I'm sure that I'm pronouncing it or saying it a little bit wrong, but I think this would be an easier way for you guys to understand. Okay, like radio sounds bouncing from walls for us to hear, or like when you jump into a pond and the ripples come, right? And then they come back. It's like that. That's your energy. So when you think of life as lessons and blessings, it helps you stay a little bit afloat. Like, okay, I'm sick and tired of the motherfucking lessons, but I understand that this is going to strengthen me and I'm going to get strong. So I'm going to be upset because I don't want to do it. I'm going to feel what I need to feel in a healthy manner. Scream, cry, shout, let it all out. You know, go to the country. Like, here's the thing. If you got to lose your shit, go to the country. Go out to farmland, okay, out in the middle of nowhere and scream and shout and smash something and just let it out, okay? Because when you're doing that crash out in the city, people gonna think you're high. People gonna think you're on some drugs. People are gonna think that you've lost your mind, all right? And I think at this point, some people may not really care, but a few people be gobsmacked. They'll be like, oh my God, that person has issues. If you're okay with that, if you're okay with them thinking that way, do you. But in the country, nobody gonna be disturbing you, okay? It's just you, your God, or whoever, okay, the higher power. Maybe you don't believe in a God and a goddess. That's okay. That's cool. You don't got to. But at least you have some like privacy to let it out. When I lived out in the country, I used to love it. Because like when I really got upset, I could just go outside and scream on the top of my lungs and curse and shout and stomp my feet, get a fallen branch or something and kind of swing it around, hit the air, punch the stuff. And I get it all out of my system. And then when I come back in, I feel a lot better because all that aggression was let out. It was released. It wasn't held in like a soda waiting to pop out because it's been shooken too much. You know what I mean? Like, do what you will. Go to the gym if you got to. Go to the gym. Go to a boxing ring. Go over there and punch on something, okay? Don't go over there and be like, because I want to be a nice person, I'm not going to let my feelings out. Listen, you hold your feelings in, you're going to turn to kill somebody. You're going to kill yourself and you're going to kill somebody. Somebody going to push you to your last limits and you're going to lose yourself. And you didn't think you were capable of these things, but believe and receive, you will do so. Let it out in a healthy manner. That being said, expressing our emotions, vibing at our highest, okay, accepting it, being done with it and letting it out. Now, hopefully this helps you guys with energies and hopefully I didn't confuse you guys anymore. So the energy you're radiating, honey, is unreliability and taking risk. What you're getting back is daydreaming and wishful thinking, okay? I am going to be honest. When it comes to the Joker of Clovers, I would say that this card mainly is like unreliable risk, okay? Like I'm just taking unnecessary action. Think before you jump on, okay, honey? Think before you jump on. Do not go over there and be like, I'm going to skydive. I'm not going to learn how to do it properly. I'm going to go on this plane, not know which strings to pull. It's me. It's this. We're just risking it all. Know what you're getting yourself into, boo-boo. Know what you're getting yourself into. Because if you're just going to jump off the bandwagon, right, and you're not going to think about what's going to happen when you do jump, you're messing yourself up. Don't do that. If you want to try new things, try new things. But make sure that you think about it, right? Make sure that you plan and prepare what you want to try to do for yourself. Because right now, some of you guys are being very impulsive. Some of you guys are not talking about how you feel. There's some things in the past that has been bothering you. You've dealt with untrustworthy, very toxic people. Again, planning, preparing to do better. Dealing with irresponsibility and immaturity. And you're just kind of like, okay, I need something that works. I need something dependable. I need something practical. I need something that makes sense. And this, ironically, ties into what your greatest hope is. Dependability and practicality. You want things that make sense. You don't want to be lost and confused. At the same time, you're afraid, right, of having energy and disorganization. Like, no matter how hard you work, it will always lead to bullshit. I planned it out. I worked it to the letter. I made sure A, B, and C equals 1, 2, and 3. And now somehow it doesn't work. I'm not with people that I can rely on. I'm spread way too thin, and I don't know what to do. And I'm freaking out. Okay? Breathe. Breathe it out. Okay? If you guys watch Kid Cosmic, you'll understand when I say this. Freaking out, breathe it out. Keep it calm, keep it cool. Okay? You just need to find people that you can depend on. You don't have to do everything by yourself. And I know when I say this, and y'all hear this, y'all gonna be like, what do you mean I can't do things by myself? I am the leader. Yes, baby, you are the leader. Okay? Aries, you are the leader of the zodiac sign because y'all start this motherfucker off. Okay? We start off with who? Who's the sign that kicks this party into motion? Okay, into motion and commotion. It is you. All right, we start off hot because you guys are a fire sign. You guys are very dominant. You guys have leadership potential. You guys know how to get things done. All right, just because you have all these qualities does not mean that you have to do every single thing by yourself. Ask for help. Don't get some run-of-the-mill type of people, okay? Don't go over there and get some random person you don't know who may or may not be competent enough, has the common sense, yeah, to get this job done. One, get people that you can rely on, people that make sense, the people that are like, okay, this is how we're going to do it. This is how it's going to be done. And this is what we're doing right now. Okay. Get people that can do the job. Work with other people that can get your goals met. Okay. Because if you're just surrounding yourself with immature people, people who are toxic, people who are not hardworking, you are going to kill yourself. You're going to mess yourself up. Now, if you're doing this to yourself, okay, because there is competition and disagreement for your outcome, which means you guys are either competing. Okay, you guys may be competing in the workplace, okay? Like, some of you guys are in sales. Some of you guys are working in a company. Some of you guys are competing with yourself because you want things done and you figure how, like, what's the best way, right? Let's make it into a competition. All right, sure. Cool beans and awesome sauce. Let's make it into a competition. Let's go over there and compete with ourselves until we can't compete no more. And if you guys are like me, all right, because I can be a very competitive person, but at the same time, I can be very like, okay, well, you won, good job. There's some things, okay? There's some things that in competition, I'll admit, I'll be like, look, if we do this, I won't stop until I win. I'll keep on, like, I'm one of those people that be like, okay, we did this 2 out of 3, okay? Let's do this 100 out of 1,000. I want to win. At least I'm honest about it. I used to be really bad about admitting. I'm like, oh, no, it's okay. I just like playing games. No, fool. I want to win. I want to dominate. I will not be beaten, you know? Anyways, that being said, use it as a fun game. The moment that competition turns into something that is like, I have to dominate you, you're dominating me, I'm better than you, you are nothing, that's when it turns into aggression. That's when it turns into arguments, because now you're competing with somebody who's not competing with you. You're making the competition into a very lame game, and it's not fun for anybody anymore. It's not something that can be enjoyed. Competition should be something that's fun to push you to meet your goals. And if you guys got big ass goals, start small. You don't have, like, here's the thing. I am completely understanding of those of you guys who are like, yo, if we're going to do it, it's going big or go home. You know what I mean? Like, it's all or nothing. Yes, I do have big dick energy, so I understand where you're coming from. I said what I said. Y'all can be mad at me, but you know it's true. Okay? Because only people with big dick energy would go all or nothing, bro. Like, look, this is no longer a game. This is business. All right? Stand up, straight out. Yeah. No cap, let's go. Like, let's go, bro. It's all or nothing. That is big dick energy. Y'all can't tell me otherwise, okay? Y'all can't tell me otherwise. That being said, take it small, okay? Build yourself up. Hey, this month, this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, well, we made it up to this month. Now let's go a little bit more and a little bit more and build it up. Pace yourself. Get yourself that running, that starting motion. Don't just go over there and full on speed. Don't do that. You're gonna mess yourself up. Anyways, whatever you guys are hoping to accomplish, okay, because with the daydreaming and wishful thinking, this can be coming out as like you want to do something, but you're putting it more into the future. Whatever you think about, you can achieve. I want y'all to understand. Okay, this didn't exist when I was a kid. In the 2000s, we did not really, okay, for me, I didn't have tablets. There wasn't a touch screen, okay? There was no such things as tablets back in the early 2000s. There was no such things as touch phones, okay? And when people talked about, what if the phones ended up being something you could touch, and they take over the world and all that? That used to be crazy banana pants talk, okay? It used to be cuckoo cuckoo, because nobody could imagine that our phones, instead of it flipping or having antennas or, having, my mom used to have this. I'm really showing my age, guys, but I really don't give a damn how old I am. Anyways, oh my Jesus, I had it and I lost it. It's kind of like, it'll come to me. Anyways, we had house phones and we had the flip phones, right? We also had pagers. That's what it was. They give you like codes or like a number or whatever, and it gives you a message on the thing. My mom used to have a pager for work because she used to be a nurse, okay? She used to work at like St. Joseph's. I think my mom's an RN. Yeah, she was. Okay, anywho. But yeah, it just used to be like the technology is not as advanced as it was, okay? Go back into like the 14th century. Airplanes. Airplanes were not a thing, guys. Nobody could think about somebody flying from the US to Africa or Africa to Europe or Europe to Asia or India all the way to California. Like that used to be impossible. My point is that whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve it. You just have to put it in action. Okay? You got to put your thoughts into action to make it into reality. So I think you're learning how to plan and prepare to get things done the way that you want it to, but also understand what you want. Because you're learning to let go of certain things, and you need to learn how to express yourself and not hold on to stuff that have been hurting you. Okay? You need to go after things that make you happy. Now, that being said, your advice for this reading is deep attraction. No, this does not mean that you guys are going to be out here finding your true love, getting into relationships, because I think with y'all having nostalgia in your mind and not being able to talk emotionally, you should not be in a relationship. Do not be like, here's the thing, because I've done a lot of shit, okay? I've been to one person after the other person, after the other person, after the other person, getting out one relationship, going to another relationship, getting out of that relationship, getting into another person. Instead of sitting my ass down and being like, look, Am I really ready to be in a relationship? Because I'll be honest with you guys, relationship takes work. Okay? I don't care if you're, I can say it, I'm not gonna get shot. Two ladies together, right? Or two guys together, or whoever your relationship partner may be. Okay, that is between you and yourself. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here trying to pry into your business. No matter what your relationship may be, okay, so long as it's consensual and y'all not out here hurting children, people, and animals. Because if that's the case, you and I are not going to get along. Other than that, relationships are hard, okay? It takes work. You are not going to be happy with a person all day long. Prince Charming and Princess Charming does not exist. In the real world, y'all are going to have to learn to compromise, meet in the middle, combine ideas, or agree to disagree. When y'all can't meet into the middle, y'all are going to have to agree to disagree. Y'all are not going to, you're not going to meet. Okay, that's okay. This is something you strongly feel about. This is something you strongly feel about. Now kiss and make up and move on. Okay, you have to be patient and kind in all this. It requires emotional intelligence. It requires emotional strength. It requires being empathetic and a lot of other stuff. So if you're not like, if you know in your heart of hearts, you don't have the energy to be in a relationship, don't do it. Because you're going to have to communicate. And I know that this is going to be really funny because like I'm a woman. So we're supposed to be very like emotionally, we're supposed to be very into our feelings. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not about sharing my feelings. I'm not. I've learned through the relationships I've had to be more open and honest about how I feel through my partners and also with my family and my friends. Okay. But I am really bad at being like, you know what, today I feel like a pile of shit. Today is not a good mental day. I have a lot of stress on my mind. You're going to have to be there. You're going to have to express yourself and be open and honest and be vulnerable to a degree because your partner can't read your mind. And if they can read your mind, it is very exhausting to read minds. If it's exhausting and overwhelming to read people's energies, I can only imagine what it's like to have that ability of reading people's mind. Like really sit like empaths, all right, y'all understand what I'm saying. Reading the energy, reading the vibrations, reading the frequency, being able to touch every single person, no matter what they are, it is overwhelming. It is exhausting. But imagine if that was in your mind, bro. Que diablos? Like, what the heck, You're not ready for it. Deep attraction, I'm just going to say go for your passion. Go for things that make you happy. Go for things that you want. And plan and prepare to do that. Make sure that whatever you do for yourself, it is dependable and practical. It makes sense. You're not going over there over competing, trying to drown yourself. And when you are ready to make a new connection with other people, you are emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually ready. Because relationships are not all about unicorns and happy dogs, man. All right. I know that sounds weird. What I meant to say is like unicorns and rainbows. All right. You're going to fight with your partner. He's going or she's going to, or they're going to get on your nerves. You're going to have to make do and work it out. Okay. So when it comes to your advice being deep attraction, your outcome being competition and disagreement, your mind is with your past and you're emotionally not talking about things. I don't think it's with partnership. Don't do it. Do not press go. Do not click the 500. Now, however, when it being passed and you can be with your deep attraction, you can go after things that you used to have a passion for. You can go after old hobbies and make that into a job or find that as a project or whatever. Okay. Go after things that make you happy, but don't jump into the bandwagon of relationships. You guys are not ready for that. Okay. Go after hobbies, go after projects, go after opportunities that tie into things that are dependable, that make sense, and that work for you. That is your general reading for today. Next up will be Taurus. thank you guys so much for the love and support. And also, before I go, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like, follow. It helps me. It helps you. You guys get free readings. Okay? So I also appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for like 54 subscribers, because like I needed to get 50 to do lives, and it makes it a lot easier for me to do it this way. So thank you guys again. If you guys haven't already, you can follow me on Instagram. That's NYXR28, NYXR28. So 28. All right. Bye, guys. Always remember, slay the day, be happy and be gay. Peace out. I love y'all. Bye.